Ready? Ready. Camera ready?
Labeled dunce, told he would come out to nothing good because of his parents' failures, told he would be a gunman or a thief, all negative labels that he had to overcome to break through and become an author, minister, and holder of 2 degrees. Today on the program, we will be talking about negative labels and how we can overcome them. My guest today is live in studio. That's Mr. Paul Blake. This is your host, Sandie Heron, and you're tuned into City Beat. Welcome to the program, Mr. Blake.
Good afternoon.
Thank you so much for joining us today. Now, Mr. Blake, have you ever heard the phrase, "Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me"? You believe that?
I don't know who came up with that. But that's definitely not true. Words are indeed very powerful. Words have, can either make you or break you.
Make you or break you. And we know that some very hurtful things were said about you that could break you.
I grew up in that kind of environment. Even in as far as primary school, I grew from grade 1 straight up to about grade 5. I was labeled dunce.
Labeled dunce.
Yeah.
There's a lot of Jamaican children here that you know.
Yeah. And through the power of my mother, and my mother is a teacher by profession, mommy just would not give up on me, and she basically took me out of the down stream and placed me in a class with a teacher who was her friend, and from there I really began to make a transition.
So which primary school you went to?
I went to Mandeville All-Age School.
Know this thing about having a class where they put all of the dunce children. What kind of effect would that have on a child? What kind of effect did it have on you?
I mean, yeah, it has a negative effect because you're always comparing yourself to other persons. Like you don't measure up to the bright persons. And you are always thinking that you can't match up to them, and you're always going to be behind. I mean, I didn't even do common entrance. I had 3 chances to do common entrance. I didn't do the first one because I really could not.
Right.
And I actually missed the second one because I was sick. And so I passed the exam when I was about 12, 13.
So the person that says the dunce boy actually passed exam.
Yeah, actually I did. I actually got a scholarship for Knox College when that is after being labeled dunce.
So some of those things that they said about you could have affected your self-esteem. I'm sure you said that it affected how you felt about yourself.
Yes, it did because as I said before, the comparison, you're always labeling yourself with other persons, and being labeled that way, it doesn't allow you to push beyond. It doesn't allow you to maximize your potential because you're basically stuck in one place.
So pretty much when people place negative labels on you, they tell you bad things about yourself. It's like it cap you.
Yeah, because if positive words have positive effect, then negative words also have negative effects.
True.
And I went through all of that, and things began to change when I started listening to positive people around me.
So let's talk a little bit about where you grew up, because you were under the pressure at school, but you also said you came from a dysfunctional family. Your parents divorced?
Yeah, my parents got divorced when I was 15 years old, and that was when I was at Manchester High School in 3rd form.
Yes.
And I remember that clearly because it was like a week before Gilbert.
So you're getting the physical storm and the emotional storm.
The emotional storm. I think I did fairly well from 1st to 3rd form, but I think that divorce had an impact on me. And by the time I got to 5th form, I only passed 3 subjects in 5th form. Had to repeat 5th form. Got another 3 subjects, and then I went to work.
You went to work?
I worked for Grace Kennedy for a number of years, and then I worked for Singer Sewing Machine Company for a number of years. During this time, I still had no idea what I wanted to do with my life. I was just simply working because that was what was expected.
So you had no idea what you wanted to do with your life. Who told you you were going to be nothing good and you're going to be gunman and thief?
I mean, growing up making a transition from, because I grew up in Mandeville and then I moved from Mandeville into the country, and because of me not being academically inclined, so to speak.
Right.
I mean, you grew up in that kind of environment. That is what people probably in the district label as. I mean, sometimes even some of your own family.
People in your
Because,
family actually
yeah,
looking
man.
at you as a child and
Yeah,
telling you you're
yeah,
going to
yeah,
be a
man.
gunman.
Yeah, man. And then because of the situation with my parents, you know, you grew up in an environment like that. Sometimes you hear that you'll be just like your father.
Well, I mean, a lot of persons in Jamaica can attest to
Yeah,
that.
at that point in time, my father and I really didn't have a very good relationship, even though we do have a very close relationship now. But, you know, a whole lot of stuff went on then, and, you know, sometimes daddy didn't do things that daddy should do.
Right.
And so you get caught in all of that, and you are expected to turn out to nothing good, just like daddy, just like everybody else that's around you. And unfortunately, sometimes you begin to believe that.
You believe it. So people saying bad things about you and you actually internalize it and then you
Yeah,
start
man.
believing those things.
If you hear it long enough and internalize it, then ultimately that's the reality that's going to play out.
Okay. So Mr. Blake, moving from the label as being dunce, put you in the dunce class, the teacher, being told that you're not going to come out to be anything good, you're going to be a gunman or a thief. You moved from there to be an author?
Yeah. You know, the transition began in 1998.
Yes.
And that was when I actually became a Christian. I remember that day, 10th of June 1998. And, you know, from that, I had a number of positive influences on my life. One of them is Carl Powell, who was my minister in Mandeville. He was one of the first persons that told me that, you know, I could be much more than I was then.
Right.
And, you know, he always believed in my ability. And, you know, hearing that, you know, self-esteem, self-esteem get a boost.
Yes.
And, you know, during that time, I was writing a few things down. Because I started writing a few small quotes that really just for me, just words that you know kept me going, and I realized that I had a lot of it, and then the advent of Facebook.
Right.
So I actually from that created a Facebook page where I write stuff on it almost every day, and from that came 2 books now.
2 books.
Yeah.
2 books?
Yes, and have enough material for probably about 6.
So the teacher who labeled you as dunce, what you think? Has she seen any of these books that you have written?
Unfortunately, no.
What you think she would even say if she see one of the books right now?
Well, that person has died.
Has died, look at that.
Yeah.
How important do you think it is for us to not believe the negative things that are said about us?
Very, very important. You have to, you know, you can't get stuck in the same place all the time. You have to be able to move beyond, you know, the negative that you hear. That's one of the reasons I don't keep negative persons around me, by the way.
So your circle very important.
Yeah, man. Very, very important. I really don't open up to negative persons. You know, life is just too short to have negative people in the space. I avoid them like the plague.
So that's one of the tips. No negative person, right?
No, man, no negative person.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, reading for me is important. I read a lot, and I, you know, watch what I read. I read positive things. I read things that are uplifting. I like motivational stuff. Listen a lot of motivational speaking, like people like Les Brown. Those are things that fill my day. I move around a lot of persons who are, you know, that's how I actually met Jamar and Natasha.
Right.
Through that medium. So it's having positive things around your space, you know, things that feed into your energy.
Okay, so you're constantly feeding yourself with positive things.
Yes, it keeps me going.
Okay. Now, a lot of times I say that the things, it starts first in your mind.
Yeah.
A lot of the things that you conceive in your mind, it's going to manifest in your reality.
Yeah, true. And you know, I even when I counsel persons, and sometimes you know you have a parent telling a child that they are this and that. You know, I have one parent calling a child a junker right in my office. I said, but if you tell the child that, and when the child starts behaving like that, why are you going to be surprised? So, tell the child something positive.
And then sometimes too, Mr. Blake, it's a vicious cycle.
Yeah, it
because
is.
when they were growing up, they heard these negative things that affected them.
Yeah, true.
And then when persons become parents, they perpetuate the same behavior.
Carrying the same thing onto the child, and the child carries on the same cycle. So nobody breaks it.
Okay. And you mentioned counseling. You're a counselor as well. I know
Yes,
you're the
yes.
holder of 2 bachelor's degrees.
Yes.
You're doing fantastic things, and an author as well.
Yes.
What are some of the main issues that you see affecting our children today?
Well, poor parenting.
Poor parenting.
Number one. I think at the heart of the problems that we're having, a lot of it deals with is parenting. Because I work within the school system, and I see it every single day. Children just longing to hear something positive.
Right.
Children, longing to have the influence of good parents in their life. I mean, you can be an illiterate person and still be a very good parent.
True.
It's not about whether or not you're intelligent.
And you don't need to be rich to be a good
And
parent.
you don't need to be rich to be a good parent.
Right.
It's about having an interest to bring out the best
Right.
in an individual, and who better to bring it out than in a child.
Absolutely. So, Mr. Blake, you understand negative labels very well.
Very well.
You understand the potential that it has to cripple an individual. If someone is listening right now, it could be an adult or it could be a child, where things have been said to them and about them that are affecting their self-esteem, and they just feel like, these things that have been said about them, it's true. Based on your journey, what would you say to that person now?
Refuse to believe it is a lie. Refuse to believe it is a lie. I mean, everybody that is born with potential.
Right.
With potential waiting to explode. And all of us are here to maximize our potential. I mean, we are born the same way, with the same kind of potential. So it is to tap into the positive energy. And one of them is by having positive people around you.
Okay, that's absolutely true. I just want to thank you so much, Mr. Blake, for tuning in today, and for you who is listening. People are going to label you, but it's how you overcome those labels. That's what counts. And that's a quote by One Tree Hill. Thank you for tuning in to today's program. If you or anyone you know have an inspirational story, be sure to contact us. You can do so by sending an email to sandieheronja@gmail.com. That's Sandie, SandieHeronja@gmail.com. See you next week. What time is it?
2 minutes to 1.
2 minutes to 1? Oh, we did good.
Wow, what a story.
The power of passion and purpose knows no limits.
That one just came.
The power of passion and purpose knows no limits. Thank you so much.